Hello everyone, today I will present to you the top 5 best water cars selected in the UK. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video before going to the video. Dacia Duster. The Dacia Duster range is almost unbelievably good value. It's so well priced that we gave it the Smart Spender title in the 2025 Car Wow Car of the Year Awards. For most people, the entry-level Duster or even the super efficient Duster Hybrid will be the best options. But Dacia does still offer this SUV with proper four-wheel drive for those who want to go off the beaten track on a budget. Paired to a modest 1.3-litre engine and a manual gearbox, the four-wheel drive Duster makes no attempt to be a luxury car. It even looks pretty cheap, but it hides an impressive level of specification for something so affordable. The interior may not be plush, but it's robust and very usable, with a surprisingly good touchscreen infotainment system that covers all the basics. The Duster is also great to drive. It has nice light controls, good visibility, and feels agile in the corners. Some SUVs are sportier to drive, but those are the SUVs that'd be defeated by a slightly muddy driveway, whereas the Duster has already proven over on our YouTube channel that it's something of a giant slayer at off-roading, capable of holding its own against cars 2 or 3 times the price. Land Rover Discovery. The Land Rover Discovery is the less glamorous and marginally less capable sibling to the Land Rover Defender above. It doesn't quite have the off-road supremacy of its more rowdy-torty sibling, but it retains the same four-wheel drive system and terrain response features, which means it can go further off the beaten track than almost any other 7-seat SUV. Inside the Discovery's slightly bulbous body, it's not exactly a looker. You'll find one of the roomiest interiors on any SUV. 7 6-foot adults can genuinely get comfortable, with each row set slightly higher than the one ahead of it to give a stadium-style seating arrangement, ensuring everybody gets a good view out. The interior feels seriously luxurious as well, not as plush as a Range Rover or as overtly outdoorsy as the Defender, but a nice happy medium between the two. If you want a Discovery for work rather than play, then you could always opt for the commercial variant. This eschews the rear seats for a load area like a van, but one that still looks and drives just like a posh SUV. And with some nice sensible diesel and petrol engines to choose from, the Discovery makes an excellent daily driver for large families, capable of surprisingly good fuel economy. 3. Mercedes G-Class. The Mercedes G-Class is a 4x4 that's very hard to buy with the head. For starters, it's colossally expensive. Even the most basic model starts at nearly £140,000. And if you want the very top AMG model, you'll be looking at a bill in excess of £200,000. Spending the price of a 3-bed semi on a car is never a logical choice. Available versions range from a semi-sensible diesel option to the absolutely bonkers G63 AMG with more than 600 horsepower. The G-Class does go some way to warranting that with the sheer force of presence it conveys. Very few cars make an entrance as well as a G-Class, no matter whether you're pulling up outside the Ritz or heading through the McDonald's drive-thru, people notice you. It's also an example of a design institution that's been sympathetically updated over the years. The current G-Class looks very similar to the original model that debuted back in the late 70s, but it has up-to-date engines and a modern interior shoehorned into a body that feels very retro. From the moment you open the bank vault-like door and clamber up into the driver's seat, you feel a sense of imperiousness that you don't even get from a Range Rover. In traffic, the only people sitting higher than you are those driving buses or lorries, so you can sneer down at those people who only spent 5 figures on their cars. Head into the rough stuff, and you'll find the G-Class's rugged looks reflect reality. This is a car that can seriously go anywhere, as comfortable blasting across sand dunes as it is rock crawling. You do compromise a little more than you do in more modern alternatives, though. Despite its size, passenger space in the G-Class is pretty poor, and if you carry a bit too much speed into the corner, you'll feel the effects of its old-fashioned chassis pretty quickly. Two, Toyota Land Cruiser. There's a reason that everyone from explorers to the UN uses Toyota products. They're legendarily long-lasting and reliable. The latest Land Cruiser looks set to continue that enviable legacy. Not only is it super rugged, capable of matching or even beating the best Land Rovers with its off-road accomplishments, but Toyota in the UK gives you an unbeatable 10 years of warranty cover, compared to just 3 years for most alternatives. Off-roading in the Land Cruiser is easy. It doesn't have so many flashy aids as the Land Rover Defender, but what it does have is enough to keep you going over just about any terrain. Combined with seriously tough bodywork, loads of traction, and the toughest of the tough four-wheel drive systems, there shouldn't be anywhere you can't go. The Land Cruiser comes with just one engine, a 2.7-litre diesel, so don't expect a rip-roaring V8 under the hood. It's very much a dutiful rather than spectacular unit, but it has enough performance for effortless off-roading and doesn't feel underpowered on the road either. Speaking of on-road driving, the Land Cruiser isn't quite as comfortable as a Land Rover Defender, but you certainly don't suffer too much for having this 4x4. It's quiet and refined enough on a long drive, and the standard automatic gearbox means it's not too much of a pain to drive in town either. And the Land Cruiser's interior is just as hard-wearing as the outside. Built like a true tank, It's well up to the rigours of family life and outdoor pursuits alike, with plenty of wipe-clean surfaces just waiting to be muddied up again. Perhaps the best thing about the Land Cruiser is its achingly cool retro classic looks, though. The Land Rover Defender may have a few design details that hark back to previous models. The Land Cruiser is a full-on homage, from the cool circular headlights to the choice of vintage-inspired paint schemes. It's definitely retro done right.
One, Land Rover Defender. The Land Rover Defender is a car that can do it all. It's one of the most legendary names in off-roading, so of course it's accomplished on the rough stuff, but it also makes a fantastic family car and a superbly comfortable long-distance cruiser. The Defender name is synonymous with off-roading, and while the current Defender might not be quite as simple and rugged as its predecessor, it makes up for it with a suite of sophisticated electronics designed to keep you going in whatever direction the nose is pointed over any terrain. Land Rover's terrain response system makes sure the Defender is set up correctly, whether you're driving on slippery sand, through deep ruts, or trying to rock a crawl. It takes the guesswork out of off-road driving and means that the Defender is extremely friendly to those who haven't really ventured off the tarmac before. Many Defenders never even make it to any terrain more taxing than Kensington, though, so it's good to know that this is a seriously multi-talented car. Whether you go for the ballistic V8 engine, the tax-friendly plug-in hybrid, or one of the eminently sensible diesel options, you can be sure that you get a pleasant driving experience. It's especially good on a long journey where squashy suspension and excellent refinement make it feel really luxurious. Around town, it's not too bad. You get a high driving position, light and accurate controls, and plenty of driver assistance to take the sting out of parking on tight roads. It's practical too. The 110 model here